wonder about
Maybe because he doesn't like neocon politics.
that. So Nick Fuentes is like, oh, I don't like the neocons, but then his targets are JD Vance, Joe Kent. He got involved in Joe Kent's campaign with a super. Oh yes, you, me, and it's like, what is that?
Dave Smith. And I asked him about that because that's a question that I had. So I did the right thing by asking him to his face, what's up with this? Like, why do you attack Dave Smith? You say that like your biggest critique is that America's being controlled by Israel. Then you have Dave Smith, who has been such a sound voice. And by the way, opposite experience with Dave Smith. I have my podcast. He's a fantastic human being. Dave
Smith is one of the nicest people
fantastic
ever.
Human.
Yes.
And so I judge people according to my experiences with them. And so Nick is being judged according to my experience with him.
But like, what is this?
I don't get
Where
it.
does
I don't
the funding come from? I probably shouldn't even say this, but the only reason I know who he is because someone sent me a video.
Somebody thinks that Nick is getting funded by somebody else. Nick can't even make a fucking bank account. You don't need a lot of funding to just get a background and talk to a camera. Like, you don't need a lot. How much did this fucking cost? Because if it was more than $1,000, you got to talk to somebody about that. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to get funded in order to just have because he had this studio in his house. That's how whenever that crazy person showed up to his house to kill him, it interrupted his stream. That's the whole reason.
A few years ago, of him attacking me, and I was like, so I'm looking at this, and I'm like, well, first of all, this kid's really talented, like legit, and I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So I was like, wow, lots of talent, native talent, and he's attacking my dad as a CIA. His dad's in the CIA or whatever, and I'm like, well, that's untrue. Then my father dies, and I learn actually, was involved in that world. I was completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but that's just a fact.
Right.
This was in March of this year.
Sure.
And I'm like, well, how the hell would this child from Chicago, my dad was 84 when he passed. Like, who does this guy know who my dad is? And like, he's in intelligence. How would he know that? And
so that was his critique.
So he's trying to imply that Nick's a Fed? Is that it?
Because I didn't see it.
Someone just sent me this video and it was like, you can't believe anything Carlson says because his father was in the CIA and he's a CIA working on behalf of the CIA. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and I actually feel emotional in my anger towards CIA. And I think that comes out on the air quite regularly.
Right.
And so the idea that I'm working for the CIA is like deranged.
Well, if it helps, he said I was.
That's pretty fucking weird. I don't think so. I mean, hasn't Nick said that about a bunch of people?
Funded by Russia now. Since the interview, he then did a thing and said I was funded by Russia.
But you would be...
Yeah, so like he's accused, like this is the same as like, it's kind of like he's said that about people before. I mean, like, yeah, it's the same as like me killing a boss and saying, oh, the mount's gonna drop this time. Eventually, I'm right.
Okay.
A lot more likely to take Russian money than I would be to work for the CIA, because you would never take Russian money and you're not Russian. But I mean, I really hate the CIA.
Yeah,
and I mean,
right.
I mean, that's like very offensive to me. So why would you?
It's like personal for you.
Well, a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, like, who is this kid exactly?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just an accident that the guy exclusively goes after people who are in the same, roughly the same. And then he gets up there and he's like, making Holocaust jokes. And it's like, is it possible that this is like David Duke? And David Duke, every time I had a new show, David Duke would endorse my show. I don't know, who the hell is David Duke? Well, David Duke is obviously part of a campaign to discredit people on the right.
I don't know whether what is the status on Tucker Carlson taking money from Qatar? Because I hear that a lot, but I hear a lot of stuff a lot. He hasn't, zero evidence? Okay, there's not. Okay, so people aren't really sure. I think that there's a lot of people that probably, once you reach a certain level of notoriety, the value of your opinion is noticed by others. And sometimes that value is not communicated in a monetary amount. Sometimes it's communicated in opportunities. It's communicated, like Tucker Carlson's super rich. Yeah, I think so. Like, he married into the family of the Swanson fucking frozen food company, right? So like Tucker Carlson is like probably a fucking, like he's going to inherit billions of dollars at some point, right? And so, like, there's no reason for him to take money.
Honestly. And I think it's very obvious that Nick Fuentes is exactly the same. Doesn't mean everything he says is false. It doesn't mean he's not talented. He's enormously talented. Doesn't mean he's a bad person. I'm not attacking him personally, but he is clearly part of a campaign to discredit non-crazy right voices.
You know,
That's obvious to me. I've been around a long
understand it.
time. I know it when I see it.
yeah, and I will say I don't understand it. We were very kind to him. Like
I think that that's not always. I mean, he's criticized tons of people. He's been on debates with plenty of people that are left wing. Also, I don't think this is an accurate summary of this. I think obviously, like, he's going to be looking at conservatives and talking more about them very clearly because he thinks that they're the ones that are kind of the gatekeepers of him. So he's going to be at odds with them more often. He debated Steven Crowder? Yeah, but he also debated Dean Withers. He's talked with a bunch of people.
truly, like we almost said, like we felt maybe he was a bit lonely. We should invite him back for dinner. I mean, that's how good of an experience I had.
Clearly it's
and then it was a
sad.
180. So it's either A, it's being driven from like a little boy insecurity, and he just was so worried that he like just
no.
went on the attack because he doesn't know how to have normal relations after being banned everywhere.
Well, I think there's the kind of
that could be one element.
the angry gay
Or-
kid thing going on. Yeah.
Or it's the
He just a mad little gay boy.
or it's the
I think there's the kind of
that could be one element.
the angry gay
Or-
kid thing going on. Yeah.
Or it's the
He just a mad little gay boy. Damn, bro, is that where we at? Shit.
could be one element.
The angry gay
or-
kid thing going on. Yeah.
Or it's the what you're saying where he does this, he's lying to everybody and pretending
Yeah.
that things are one way when it's not. I can say
Why is he
lied.
attacking Joe Kent, who, I mean, Joe Kent worked as a CIA contractor, paramilitary contractor. He was in the U.S. military for years fighting our neocon wars. And his wife was killed in Syria in one of those wars. Joe Kent is the single most sincere critic, and I would say the one with the most credibility in the United States to say this foreign policy is bad. It killed my wife. I was a part of it. Joe Kent is actually someone the CIA doesn't like at all because he understands how it operates. And for Nick Fuentes, who's like some child from Chicago, to go after him specifically, one congressional seat in Washington State.
That is random.
It's not random, though. It's the opposite of random. Joe Kent,
So Tucker Carlson thinks that he's bought and paid for, and it's all a fucking conspiracy. And Nick Fuentes is like a paid plant that is put there in order to discredit neoconservatism and make them more radicalized. That's what he's saying. Yeah, exactly, guys. I read that on the back of the dollar bill. It's the triangle.
was number one on the list of people they wanted to knock off, people who believe in our neocon foreign policy. They wanted Joe Kent out because he could stand up and say, I actually know. I've got the receipts. My wife was killed in Syria. You had to take that guy out. And
You're
Nick
misunderstanding him. Tucker's trying to say Nick attacks only anti-neocon voices.
Fuentes, this child, this weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago, is participating in a super PAC to bump off gay kid in his basement. You had to take that guy out. And Nick Fuentes, this child, this weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago, is participating. Got the receipts. My wife was killed in Syria. You had to take that guy out. And Nick Fuentes, this child, this weird little gay kid in his basement in Chicago. I'm so grateful that you're here. Thank you.
I'm so excited.
With child number 4 in tow, who's just off camera. What is going on with an amazing skill? And he has that skill. But I